Premier 1. That's the fencing that we use. I highly recommend it, whether you're where we're at now in the situation we're at. My parents' house is barely an acre and a half, a little over that, which is much smaller than what we want. I know a lot of people are working from like a small, maybe a third of an acre yard or a quarter of an acre. If you need fencing for birds and you're allowed to have it where you're living, allowed to have birds, Premier 1 fencing. It's the perfect fence to use. It's electric, so it'll keep dogs and cats and animals out that will try and get to your birds. But it's easy to use, it's easy to move around, it's convenient. It's an investment for your birds, so it's something, not to just take lightly, at least for our family, and just buy to have and not use. But it's not so expensive that you're going to be spending, $1,000 to get all this fancy fencing. We were able to get, I think, for somewhere in the realm of 400 and something, we got our main fence and a charging energizer, so that's what keeps the fence electrified. It's the mid-tier one. I think they've got the 30, the 60, and the 120, so ours is the 60. And it works perfectly. We've used it for pigs, we've used it for birds, turkeys, chickens, ducks, geese, all of the above. Basically all our animals. And actually we even use it on dogs, well, for our dogs. We don't electrify it for them, but we have it set up right now to keep them from getting on my parents' driveway. They tend to make a mess. It's highly mobile. You move it around, so if you are in a smaller yard or if you're in a giant, massive, I own 100 acres and you want to move your animals around, instead of paying to get all of it fenced in, get this Premier fencing, move that around. You can move your birds with it. You can do the same thing in a small backyard. I recommend pasture raising your birds, even in a backyard, because they will keep your grass and your ground healthy. So all of the bug spray and grass spray, weed killers, fertilizers, all this stuff that we put on our lawns kills all of the natural critters, basically, that's in the ground. All the little itty bitty bugs and the stuff that we don't really see that break down when the leaves in the fall, fall to the ground, and those start decaying and they get, into the dirt. Something needs to go through and eat at that, and their mess, their poop that they leave behind, the worms, all the microbiome that's there needs to work in unison, and that will help enrich your soil and give you a better lawn. Moving these birds around, even here at my parents' house, we have made incredible grass for them because we have increased the quality of their dirt, because the chicken poop has so much nitrogen in it. You get that and it gets in the soil. That is what your soil is using to grow the grass. It eats all that up and doesn't put it back in. So all the spots that we've moved our birds at their house, they have gotten incredible grass growing back up. And we'll get a shot of that here. I'll show you guys. That'll be rolling now. So you can see how brown, and they've gotten it all down. You can see there's leftover of the seed and the from their feed, the different seeds and grains. And then actually, where we are standing right now, this beautiful lush piece of grass, this looked as bad, if not worse than this, probably 4 weeks ago.
I would say more like 2 or 3. We moved them
maybe
right before
3,
your
yeah.
sister came in town,
So 2 or 3 weeks ago. So they were on this portion over here a long time. This was actually ducks and geese over here back when we had more ducks than we currently have. This section over here, which is still coming in a little bit patchy, but this is where the turkeys and the chickens were. You can see how well this is growing back. So some of these areas, you can see that really small, the new grass coming up. And it's growing all itself. And what the turkeys and the chickens do, their waste has lots of nitrogen in it. Nitrogen is something that when plants grow, grass grows, at farms, when you grow corn or whatever, it uses up all the nitrogen in the soil, and it doesn't replenish it. It uses it up and then keeps taking it out every time things grow. So we're using God's intended natural remedy, which is putting birds and having their poop fall down on the ground, and the chickens especially have a very nitrogen rich fecal matter that they leave behind. So this is, I'll get close, this is ducks and geese, and they are the ones who destroy the most. The grass is completely gone and bare. So this is from 3 weeks ago that we were saying. See how rich it is. There's clover growing back, but we'll let the grass grow up probably to about 5 or 6 inches, and then we'll cut it at a higher height to basically suffocate the weeds and the clovers out and give the grass a better growing chance. So now I'm going to show you, this is an area that was what my father prepared. He put hay, he put grass seed down, they've been watering it. I don't think he put any fertilizers down at all. I want to show you the difference. So this grass, so they recently put in this patio, and this all was dirt. From over by the mound here at the corner, all over to this barn with the canoe, and then all the way over here to where the house is at. And it is growing, and it's growing well, but it's growing slowly. Now, if I were to bring and put the birds in here, they would obviously eat that grass, and it would grow back. But the benefit would be that there would be nitrogen that we would be putting in the soil. And he doesn't want that right now because that's where everybody hangs out, and that's completely understandable. So what we might end up doing is helping them to get some of the waste and the from they have their chickens. They've got hay, it collects all the waste, and they scoop that out and they throw it away. So we're gonna talk to them about spreading that on the grass area over there, and they'll see a huge difference. Their grass will come up. So on top of being good for your grass though, moving the birds around on your lawn, they eat the bugs, they eat some of the grass, worms and stuff. So when it rains and the worms come up out of the ground, they'll snatch those up, be a huge protein snack for them. So it's healthy for them, being able to eat good foods, bugs and stuff, and proteins that they would naturally eat anyways. But then it also makes them happier. They got something to do. They scratch around in new grass. They're not sitting in all their fecal matter that's been, there for, if you're in a coop and you're not cleaning it out as often as you should be, which I think all of us do. And they're sitting unhappy with the ammonia smell kind of starting to come, and they're just not happy in that. But if you can get them in an environment where they're moving around on the grass, that's what they want. They want that. That is how birds are in the wild. And so you're basically having them be wild birds confined in a fence that you can move around. So I highly, highly, highly recommend Premier One fencing or some other mobile fencing solution like Premier One. I've never regretted buying. We got ours, and all I've wanted to do is get more for the different animals that we have. What we're probably going to end up doing is we're probably going to end up getting at least 1 or 2 more of the poultry netting ones. I'm probably going to get one of the bigger energizers. That way I can use that one for the pigs, so it's a little bit bigger of a shock. Help keep them from getting out. And then, sky's the limit from there. You can use it for anything you want or need. I appreciate you guys sticking around with me. It's a video about fences, not necessarily as exciting as something awesome, like a butchering day or new chicks or new birds hatching or something. But we're really hoping to be in our new house by now, at least have it and own it. We don't. We had another delay come up, and basically we have until the 24th of September, and at that point, if the sale doesn't go through, we lose the house, and that's something on the sellers. That's not something that we're doing wrong. So we're in the crunch time, and we'll just see if this is what God has for us or not. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll have some good news. and actually be starting that project. If not, we'll look around, we'll find another house, not a big deal. But I just want to thank everybody for their support watching our channel. I want to thank you for the people who have subscribed. If you haven't, hit that subscribe button so you can get notifications when our videos come out. And then go check us out on Facebook and on Instagram. It's HashleyFarms. You can search it for both of those. And we usually post pretty regularly. This last week has been very dry for us as far as posts. We haven't gotten hardly any farm posts, only a couple just kind of our family. But it's something we enjoy doing. Love to share it with you. So thank you. Appreciate it.